start
I always
one.
start laughing. Hi, guys.
We start one episode without start laughing and
It's
feel a
so
little
good.
more serious about this.
Well, I mean, it is serious, but it's also important to have fun. So, hey, guys, it's your Mindshift for the dynamic duo that's always laughing and always having fun. With your awesome host Sonia. Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
And me, Sabine. And today we're talking about, I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know.
I
Do
do not know
you?
either.
Do you need to know?
Do we? No, we don't. Not really. I mean, most of the things we really don't need to know.
No.
And it's we just put out this is a quick thing on manifesting. This is how you manifest, right? You put out what you want, you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you don't worry about the who's, the hows, the what's and whens, and you move on with your day.
Oh my God, that
And
was so
that was
complicated
a
for
short
me.
show. What?
That was so complicated for me. That was the most complicated piece of the puzzle for me. That I
What?
could not don't I don't know and let it go. I couldn't. I need to know the how, what, when, and everything in between.
So this is the left brain talking.
Yes.
Okay,
It
guys.
was. It was. It
All
was.
of you who can relate to that, you're left brain.
Yes.
Okay. Now, my right brainers, who cares?
I
You know,
did.
it's like I used to. So I'm like whenever I do the test, left brain, right brain, I'm usually somewhat in the middle.
Oh, I'm completely left. Go left and don't come back.
Completely out in left field. Whoops, gone. So,
Completely
and
left.
it's like for those of you who are like somewhat in the middle, it really is a balancing act, because sometimes the left brain just wants to take completely over, and I've had that, you know and then the right brain is like, hey, but let it go, and the left brain said, no, we need to know, and the right brain says, who cares, and the left brain says, but it's important, and the right brain says, no, it's not. And when you have a constant thing going on, it's
And
like,
they fight and they get all, and my right side of the brain gets all black and blue. And sometimes I need to take care of my right because poor right side is completely knockout.
and that's okay. But see, you have friends like me in your life who make you embrace your right brain.
Yes, yes. You try.
As like best
And I'm
example is
better. And
before we came on. Okay, Sonia had some struggle with her watch,
it's not here anymore.
so she took it off. Okay, but I got her to change the face, the face of her
Yes.
watch, right?
Yes.
Because she goes, look how left brain I am, and she's all proud. Look how left brain I am, and it was like all that like all the information stuff that you can get. And I said, okay, time for you to embrace your right brain.
And he was like, okay.
But she did it.
And after I put it the fire, because I thought the fire would be a little more not so right brain. It would be something in between. And I tried to get away with that, but she didn't allow me, and so I finished having the lion.
And it's so cute. It's so, if you guys have an Apple Watch, it's really fun, right? You can do the emojis and they interact with you. It is so much. Of course, I have the unicorn because, rainbows are color, unicorns are real. But it's so fun. It's like, and when I need to pick her up or during the day, I just look at my watch and there's my unicorn. And it's like, and it's like coming in the camera, like, and it's so cute.
Oh my God. But even my watch today was not being working with me, right? It was
That's
like,
okay.
what's going on? Until I decided, okay, let it go. And she was like, turn off the watch. She's bothering me. I'm like, well, I'm gonna take it off in that case. It's okay.
That was my left brain talking. It's like, you need to fix it now.
And I just took it off and say, happy now? It's fixed. So that was my right brain. It was not bother me at all. I was like, yeah, my watch is sending me to exercise. I don't know why, but
That is so funny. I'm still laughing.
maybe I need. But this week is all other dimension for me anyway. So
Right? This week has been so strange. But again, it's the thing. It's like, for me, the right brain, I decided at one point I'm gonna let my right brain dominate over the left one, right? Just because I learned that letting things go and not worrying about the who's, the why's, the what's, and when's, I get a lot faster. I achieve my results a lot faster, and I get what I want faster than trying to figuring out the who's, the how's, the what's, and when's,
But
and coming up with that plan.
yeah, but this week you were more left brain than I was.
I
Because my
was.
yes, because my book disappeared and every single day you are, did you find your book? No. Did you find your book? No. Do you know what is your book? No. It is in the bathroom? No.
Fun fact, in case you guys need to know, she still hasn't found the book.
But they didn't even know the story that I lost the book. That
Oh,
was on
that's
top of
right.
my
Sonia
desk.
lost one of her books.
And the fun part is the book was the last time that I saw my book, it was on top of my desk and nowhere to be found.
Of course, here's me. You parked in a different dimension.
I
Find
went
the dimension, you find your book,
that was the first thing that she said to me, and I'm like, well, because I was on the phone with her, and suddenly I need the book for something. I don't even remember for what it was, but it was in the middle of our conversation. And I said, wait, I have the book right here. And suddenly I'm like, oh, I don't know what is my book.
And it's been an MIA ever since. But it's okay.
And the first thing that she said, like, you went to a different dimension and you put the book in a different place. And I'm like, okay,
So
dimension? Huh?
technically, it's still where you left it on your desk, just not in this dimension. It happens.
I hope that in the other dimension, my desk is a little more clean than this one.
Hey, from where I'm sitting, it looks clean.
But that is the behind. The behind looks beautiful. See,
I love it. No, but so
behind the computer is another story.
right. So when we were talking about what are we talking about this week, Sonia laughed and she says, "I don't know. Do you know?" I said, "I don't know." And then we decided we talk about I don't know.
After she was like, I don't know, and I'm like, and it doesn't matter. No,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
doesn't.
how often do you I mean, and here's the thing, the fact is we do know the answer, even though when we say I don't know, right? We always know the answer. And we just say, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know." But it doesn't really matter.
I don't know. It is my book, so no, I don't know the answer.
Well, somewhere deep within you do. Your deep
No, my
subconscious
subconscious
someone knows.
knows that is in the house because I didn't left the house with the book, and
Right.
that
It's
I know
okay.
for
It'll
sure.
show up.
It
If
will
not,
show
it's
up.
like and the other thing too is like how often has it happened to you? You lost something, and then as soon as you replaced it,
That's why
the
I
whole
still
thing
didn't.
shows up.
I know. That's why I still didn't replace the book because I know that it's in the house, but I really need to buy a new book because I really love that book so much and but the worst part is I had so much notes inside of that book.
Oh, it'll show up. Okay, guys, in case you're wondering which book it is this one. Amazing, 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 amazing. Because
Amazing,
that's
amazing,
what we're
amazing.
doing in our daily study group right now at the Napoleon Hill
For the
Institute.
second time. The book is
For
so
the
good that
second
we
time
are
because it is
studying the
just so
book for
good.
the second time. Yes.
And I'll be okay if we do it a third time at some point.
And the fourth and the fifth and
Because
I'm
some
okay.
some books, just like the book Think and Grow Rich, I mean, I'm sure some of you have heard about it. Some of you say, "Oh, I've read that,"
Yeah.
and I've read it. I bought it 10 years ago because I just found it. When you go in on the Amazon thing, your past purchases because I was looking for something and this came up. I was like, "Oh, when did I buy that?" It's like 10 years ago, January of 10 years ago.
At least you know that was January 2013, 10 years ago.
Okay, what she said.
That's right.
And I've read it a couple of times, but I have never actually studied it. I have read so many books, but I've never really studied them.
You
I underlined stuff. It's like, oh, this is important. Have I ever gone back to it? No. Right. But now it's like with the Napoleon Hill Institute, actually get to study the book and it hits on a whole nother level.
That was one of the things that I learned a lot with Napoleon Hill Institute and with all our master coach was I read the book, Doesn't matter if it was a novel or a self-development book or whatever it is. I read one and I put it aside. It's
Yep.
done.
It's like,
I
well,
don't
I
want to
got
go.
the information. It's
I
in there.
got
It's
the
in my
information.
subconscious.
It's in my brain. Left brain think that she can memorize everything that she read.
How is that working for you, by the way? Clearly not, because you still haven't found your book.
but
Anyway.
but exactly the way the left brain is, and all the left brains they are in this call, it will know that we read once and we think that memorize everything that we need and move on. And we are very good to memorize stuff, but very good to forget. We just memorize for that period of time and after gone.
Yep.
And because we memorize, we didn't learn. What is the difference?
Well, and here's the thing. They say you have to read something or hear something at least 7 times for it to sticks in your conscious mind. So you do remember it permanently. But I found that some of the stuff, even after 7 times, I don't, writing things down and
You
talking
have
about stuff, now you have more frames of reference to remember, and that's why I love the daily study. I so love it. It really fills my cup for the day.
yes, absolutely.
Yep.
But the left brain is exactly, we read once and we put it aside. We don't watch the same movie. We don't read the same book over and over again. And now I find myself reading and rereading and go back because I always think that I missed something important. And so I go back.
Right. Well, I mean, the other thing too is it's like you can read the same book, say, take Think and Grow Rich or The Science of Personal Achievement, right? You read it now, you study it, and
And
then
you
you pick it
think,
up again in 6 months or a year and you read it, you find things, or you might see it completely different because you have changed it. The stuff in the book is still in there. It's still the same. That doesn't change. But
but
you are changing.
you change. And so the way you're going to interpret the information that is there is going to be completely different.
Right. And it hits you on a
Absolutely.
whole nother level. Or
Absolutely.
something that you read before, you didn't register. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, this was the missing piece. Right.
Like the missing piece for me, that let it go, the how, the what, and when. Just let it go. I could not put that piece in my puzzle. It would not fit there.
Right. And the thing is with when we say, well, I don't know, a lot of times I look at it too. It's like, do I even need to know?
No.
I mean, some of the stuff, yes, you do.
Yeah, if
Absolutely.
you
Like,
say you need
some
to
of the
know,
stuff like your finances and everything, yes, you need to know.
you need to know, and you need to pay very attention. Where are you
Right.
spending your money?
But it's like with your major goals that you have, that you want to achieve in life, you don't need to know any of that. You
No,
just know the direction you need to take action towards that, and then be
and
open to whatever comes your way.
and even the actions, they will come to you because you are so deep in this goal. You go so deep in this goal that you sometimes like, how I'm going to do this, and it will show during the path of the process of going after your goal. You're going to have the veil getting up and show you the path that you need to take. Sometimes, like, isn't that go the right way? Like I did this week, right? Working for so much for something that I really wanted, and suddenly I'm like, okay, it isn't gonna happen, not now. It's gonna be next week,
Yeah,
supposedly.
and that's the
And
thing
it
too,
was
is like
right.
what you bring
And
up,
it's
not
okay.
now. It happens at the perfect time,
It was
right?
because I was not ready.
You may not agree with the timing. It may not work with your timing that you had in mind,
Yes.
but it works in the perfect timing in the big scheme of things.
And the divine timing will show up for you
Yeah.
when you
And
are
it's
ready.
like so many times it's like, well, but I want it, and if I do this, then I can have that. They said I can, blah 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 blah. And I was told, it's like, here's the, the little acorn. Can you see it? Acorn, right? I mean, how long does it take for the acorn to turn into a big oak? Right? It takes a long time. It's a gestation period, and it's like being pregnant. Just because you just found out you're pregnant doesn't mean you deliver the baby tomorrow. I mean, it all takes time and everything takes different time. It's the same with our dreams and goals that we have when we put them out there,
Yes.
you know. But I did find out if I'm not worried about the who's, the hows, the what's and whens, and just continue in that direction, it comes faster than if I try to control it in a certain way. Have you found
No,
that?
absolutely. I let it go. Yesterday, I find out it would not happen when I was thinking that it would happen. And I don't gonna deny I got a little not upset but disappointed. Like you worked so hard for this and now you're gonna need
Mhm.
to wait one more week for this to
Right.
happen.
It's
But I
frustrating.
know it was like disappointed. Not I was not upset, I was nothing, I was disappointed. Um and but it's okay. I know they will come. It's coming. It's here
Right.
actually. It's not
It is.
coming. It's here already.
Right. Because
It's
see,
here
when you
already.
understand, once you understand that everything you want already exists, it's already done.
Yeah, it's in here already.
It's just not in our awareness just yet.
And sometimes we need to understand that our goals don't depend only on us. Sometimes depend on other people too
Mhm.
for specialized knowledge or anything else.
Right.
So we cannot push when it doesn't depend only on us.
Oh, you can
I,
push all you want,
it doesn't gonna happen.
but it's not gonna work, right?
I
So all
cannot.
it does is just like it frustrates you. And a lot of times what I found is when I push or I think I'm in control and I try to control it, especially when there's others involved, and then it doesn't happen, we tend to give up.
Oh no,
We just quit. It's like, well, it's not working. Don't do that.
no,
Don't do
no.
that. Keep going. Be persistent. Just
It's
keep
like
on
it's
going.
like the story and Think and Grow Rich. The gold is
Hmm.
only 3 feet away.
Right.
Don't give up.
Right. And it's just like, oh, so do you see my smoke coming?
I did. I did. I was like, oh, her incense is right there.
Yeah. I always have like incense burn because it's just I don't know.
Clears the space
It's
and helps
yeah,
with the energy and with the
right.
vibration.
So if you guys could see my office, right? I have, of course, my books behind me, but I'm surrounded by crystals and all kinds of cool stuff. So,
I'm a left brain, but I have crystals around me too.
and I bet you yours are nicely organized and they have their
Um,
place.
yes, mine are. Yes, yes, I show you. I, actually, is it more heavy than I thought? Yes,
See,
mine
they're
is
organized.
smaller.
Mine, not so much.
Yes, they are organized. Yes.
Not mine, not so much. They're like, I have some here, I have some there, I have some behind me, I have on my windowsill, you know.
No, my organized, and I have wait because this is a mirror, and I always forget for what side I need to turn. But in this side, I have more, but it's organized too.
Nice. Yeah, definitely left brain.
Definitely
Not
right.
it. Oh, but I taught my husband, and so my husband is a high school teacher, right? And I taught him that not it, and he taught his students last year not it. And then he asked the kids to read something, right? And there was one that wasn't paying attention, and all the kids did this except that one. And that one looked around. It's like, oh man.
I got caught. You don't hate when that happens to you. When you are in your La La Land,
Hmm.
what we call our home, our imagination, and everything around us is continue to go around, and suddenly you are like, "Oops, what did I lost?"
I know, right? It's like, wow.
Special for us that are becoming a coach or we are coach. One of the things that we learn a lot is living in our imagination, right? Is
Hmm.
our office majority of the time.
And it's a beautiful place to
It
be.
is. I
It's
love
so
it.
much
I
fun.
love it. No one can say nothing to me because there I live my perfect life. Always happy. I'm always smiling. Always.
I love that.
I love that. And everything goes on my way, by the way. I don't expect for anyone to the things to happen. It just happened.
Hey, and that's a beauty in our imagination. There are no limits.
No limits.
There are no limits. It's like in your imagination, you can go on that dream vacation you ever wanted to because you don't have to worry about the money. You need the money. Imagine the money to go with it.
And do you notice, like, when we are kids and we live a lot, unfortunately not the kids in this generation, not happen with my kids, unfortunately. But when we were kids, we didn't have the technology that we have now, right?
Right.
They didn't have iPads, Roblox, Minecraft, and so on, stuff that I don't even know the name. Um, but we live a lot on our imagination,
Hmm.
the pretend as if. We pretend that we are doctors, we pretend that we are uh, a husband and wife, we pretend to be in a clinic, a vet clinic.
And in
We,
that moment, we actually are.
and in that moment, actually, we are. And
Right.
no one tell us while we are kids, stop, that is
Hmm.
wrong, right? They don't say to us. We continue to until we grow up and suddenly we become teenagers and someone comes to us and say, stop, you're not a child anymore. This is not, that is not the real world. Grow
Right.
up,
It's like,
grow up.
what the heck?
And we are like, is a cold shower on top of us, like, what?
Right.
And now I become that little kid again. Like, why I cannot imagine that I'm living my perfect life? Why I cannot imagine that I'm living in my house with an ocean view, with my three beautiful kids, driving my car I have already. I don't know if in 1 year it's still gonna be the same, but for now it is. It's still my dream car.
Nice.
Um, I, I don't know even know if I'm gonna dress the same way. For now, it is what I feel comfortable with. But why I cannot imagine that? It was the way I attract my car. I
Right.
imagine myself driving that car for 6 months.
There you go. Well, and Neville Goddard says it, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Pretend as
Absolutely,
if. Pretend it
absolutely.
already, because here's the thing, your subconscious mind, the powers that are, they don't care if it's fact or fiction.
No,
It's the
and they will
feeling you
find.
put into it that makes
And
it
if you
real.
and if you have that feeling, universe, God, whatever you want to call,
That's your order to the universe.
it will make a way to come to your reality.
Yeah.
And my car, only when I was every weekend for a month driving that car every weekend in a
From a different dealership.
in the dealership, and I connect my phone with the Wi-Fi or to that car to feel that it actually was mine,
Hmm.
was in
Until it was.
like on the fourth time that I drove that car, I said, "Well, this is my car. I'm gonna get out of here without sign the contract, and the car is gonna
Mhm.
go home with me today."
There you go. I did the same with mine. I drive my dream car, you know, and I tell people I drooled over that car for 2 years because I didn't know then what I know now. Also, I mean, I knew some, but not what I know now. But anyway, for 2 years I drooled over it. Every time I went to the Lexus dealer with my other car, I had the SUV, and they do the car wash and everything, and it's like, hey, and when it comes back out, I want it looking like this, and I pointed at the sedan. And of course they always are. We would be happy to connect you with one of our salespeople. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It needs to transform into that.
Needs to be exactly, well, mine
Right.
it was not exactly what I vision, and actually I still have my board and my vision board and my screen in my computer. I still didn't change that one, but I have the other one right there in my window.
Nice.
The new one is in my window, and I have stuff that I manifest already. But if you go, it's white, not black. I have a black one, and mine is white. But I remember that I was like, no, I don't need all the Y, X, and Z on that car. I just want the car. I don't care. It came black, but it came better than I imagined.
There you go.
Way
See, with,
better.
with my car, it's exactly the color. It's exactly everything I wanted.
No, mine became black. Actually, I'm very happy that I chose black instead of white. You don't see that it's so dirty.
Do you know the best color on a car is like a
Silver?
It's either like a darker silver. I had when I had the my Jetta, it
Mm,
was a charcoal silver, like a
okay.
darker silver. You see no dirt on it whatsoever.
Yeah, the black one you don't see so much because before I had the minivan that was white, and every time that it rain and you go in the road, you know that black from the black top, you see it all. This
Hmm.
time is like black, and I don't see it so. It's dirty. I know that it's dirty, but I don't see it so much. So let it go.
Nice. Yeah, I have the from Lexus. I have the atomic silver. I just
Hmm.
love the name. I wanted that, and I love the color. And it's like, ooh, yeah, you don't see the dirt on that much either. So, but anyway, but the point is, guys, what you want, you envision it, and every time my other car was in the shop for repairs and everything, Lexus gives you a loaner. And I always got, I mean, not the color that I wanted, but the model that I wanted. And I got to drive that. And I was like, oh yeah, mine, mine,
Hmm.
mine, mine, mine. And then one day, I let it go. I was like, you know what? It's like once I understood how things work, right? I put on my thing. It's like I needed a certain amount of money to pay off credit cards, and this is how I do it. I want X amount or more by X date or sooner.
Oh, I didn't put it like that. I said I
Well, I
want this
do.
car or better by
Right.
this time or sooner. I
There you
didn't.
go.
I was
Well,
not
and I
even.
mean, it's like and I always tell people it's like I got the money I asked for sooner than I asked, and sooner, and I'm driving or more.
So
It
I didn't
works.
even. I was not even concerned about the money at that time. I was like, I want the car, and I don't care where the money comes because if the car is going to come to me,
It
the
comes.
money will show up. So
Right.
I just manifest the car. That's
There you
it.
go. And and that's the thing. I mean, I wasn't even thinking car at that moment when I put out for the money. My main thing was it's like the money because I wanted to get rid of the credit card debt, right? And I just put out or more or sooner, and I'm driving or more. I'm okay with that. But the thing too is it's like in that when I put out for the money, I was not even thinking or worried about the car. That was just something in the background. I had let it go. It's like yeah, whatever will be. I don't whatever. You know
Yes.
and then boom, there it is.
And usually it is when we stop concerned about how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and all that, that
And
it
what
will show up
yeah.
in our 3D reality.
So here's something interesting. It's like my husband and I were talking about that the other day because he's like, "Oh, you're manifesting, whatever, all of those things," and it's okay. But
And
I
not
said,
everyone needs to like or agree with
"No,"
what.
and that's okay because it works no matter what. And as you said, you
Absolutely.
understand how it works. It can work for you faster. But anyway, and so we always wanted to be stationed here in Colorado.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know that.
always want to be stationed here. And and it just like didn't happen, and then all of a sudden they send us to Colorado, and the way that happened was really bizarre because they were going to send us back to Germany, right?
Mhm.
And then that didn't work out. Then they were going to send us to
Thank God.
Kansas. I know that didn't work out. So
Okay.
they sent us to Colorado, which worked out for us and even better for him, for
Oh,
his career, right?
great.
Again, but I didn't know then what I know now. Okay. So we got to be here, and his position, I mean, the higher you go, the fewer positions there are and places you can be. And when the time came for him to give up that battalion, we wanted for him to stay here. Because I from for me, it's like this is home. We enrolled the kids in school here, and within 2 weeks of being here for the first time in my life, I felt like I'm home. I've come home. I belonged. I've never had that growing up here. So I call him, and mind you, we're here in Colorado for 2 weeks, right? And I call him, and I'm sobbing, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? I'll be home soon." And I said, "I'm not at the house home, honey. I'm home."
Oh.
And he goes like, "Oh, so I'm buying you a house." I said, "Yes, you are." And then he goes, "And my next assignment," and I giggled and I said, "Yeah, we will miss you." I wasn't gonna move again with the kids, right? And we were going to miss him, but I didn't want to miss him. Apparently, he didn't want to miss us either. So guess what his follow-on assignment was? Same station, same place in Colorado, different unit, but same base here in Colorado.
Oh, that is amazing.
That was the first time. He was like, "Oh wow," and I'm like, "Yeah." And to me, at that point, it's like, "Oh, how lucky are we?" Right? Then it came again for him for the next assignment, right? And again, I said, I love you, but we will miss you. But I didn't want him to go, and he didn't want to go. Guess what? His follow on assignment to that at the same duty station, different unit again, right? Same position, different unit, again here in Colorado. That's manifesting, guys. Think of all the things that had to fall in place for that to happen. Look how strong, and we didn't even know what we were doing at that time. Right. I mean, I started to get a clue when he said, it's like, how is this possible? I laughed and I said, you're welcome.
You know that I find out actually, I didn't find out recently, but I find out that my husband manifests me.
Oh.
And, yeah, and just the pieces of the puzzle just start putting together when I start studying Napoleon Hill, and
Mhm.
where he says that we need to say, "I'm so happy and grateful that I'm going to have this by this time, by this, by this." So I met my husband in my cousin wedding. I came from Portugal here, and I met my husband. We went on the day before I left, or 2 days before I left Portugal, that I would need to return to Portugal. We went to a date, and after he he went to Portugal to see me, and nothing started there. But I came back to have New Year's with him and his family, and I came to spend New Year's in here. And when I was going to the airport, it put a paper inside of my purse, and I only opened the paper when I was already on flight back to Portugal. And he said, "I'm so happy and grateful that you are my wife by this time." And we did. Actually, it did.
Mhm.
This was December, January 17, the day before my birthday. He traveled to Portugal. He proposed me. A month later, we were married. So yeah,
If
and
you if
we
you put out what you want and you
and I
believe with
didn't
every
realize.
fiber in your body that you get it, you will get it. It's the law.
Yeah, but the thing it was, in that time, I thought that I was like 27 years old.
Whatever.
27 years old, I was like thinking like, oh, this is so cute, so romantic, and so what? Yeah, that's gonna happen.
So what next?
So what? Oh, so cute, so romantic. Some people still write notes and put it in the girl's
Right.
purse. Oh my God, this is so sweet. Yeah, but you are in the United States. I'm in Portugal. I have a completely different life there. I don't know if I want to. No, this isn't gonna happen. This is fun. We have a good time. We get together. But period. Until it happened, and just now, like a couple months ago, I was like, oh, my husband just manifested me because of that note
Mhm.
that he wrote.
Mhm.
Whoa. And
And
it
and
happened.
that's the nice thing is like things come to be and we don't even realize it until later. And it's like looking back, it's like, oh, of course it happened because that's what I manifested. But here's the thing,
But here's the
when I
thing,
tell
never
people,
manifest a specific person. It doesn't gonna go well.
no, and that's what we're saying. It's like let go of the who's, the house, the what's, and when's, right? You just know that what you want and you believe you already have it.
Yeah.
And so it shall be. But here's the thing, when I tell people the law of attraction works 100% of the people, 100% of the time. People are like, yeah, well, no, it doesn't work for me. And I was like, oh, yeah, it does. Because here's the thing, if you focus on the negative
You
and
will
the
bring
bad
the
things, you
negative.
will get that too. It doesn't discriminate to nature, universe, God, whatever you believe in. It just is. It's not good or bad, positive, negative, whatever. It just is. It's the feeling you add to it. So if you add to it the negative feelings, that's still the same and it's strong. You send out that vibration, right?
And one of the
You tune into
biggest
that station, you get more of that, and vice versa. If you vibrate on a high level and it's like now you get the better stuff.
And one of the biggest fears that we have is the fear, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is the emotional connection with majority of the thoughts that would be getting old, um, getting sick, die, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have that connection with the fear, it will come. We just need to cancel, reject that thought, and substitute for something
Mm-hmm.
that is completely the opposite of what you thought.
You know what I do? Because I mean, I still get the negative stuff coming in. I'm like, as soon as I catch it, I'm like, oh, delete, 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 and then it's like, and I rephrase it into something that I do want, and I
Well,
repeat that a few times.
I told already before, and I continue to say, if when I'm driving my car, I believe that the other drivers, when they look to inside of my car, should think like, "Oh my God, she lost it completely." Call the mental institute because she needs to go immediately there. Because when we are for me, special for me, I don't gonna talk about other people because I don't know. But special for me when I'm driving is the time that I connect with my winner me, right?
Hmm.
Myself. And it was when my thoughts start running like crazy. And if you guys could see all the mechanisms that I have in my brain, you would say that we are in a high speed. And sometimes I catch myself thinking and something that is not so positive have it should. And so I'm like hitting the wheel and like cancel, reject, what are you doing?
Delete, 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 delete.
Cancel, reject, what are you doing? You know, but and you know, this week I had that um nervous breakdown, a meltdown, whatever you want to call,
I
because
wouldn't call it a nervous breakdown. You just had a lot of stuff going on that, you
uh,
know.
but it was a meltdown. Let's say this, it was a meltdown for me to call one master coach that could not pick up the phone to me, and I could not even wait an hour for have an answer, and text another one,
And me.
and well, and you so many times. It was a really meltdown, and all because of my fear.
Hmm.
And I had a fear. So it's very easy for me to get my Napoleon Hill certification. I need to do a video, right? And have a video with Sabine. It's easy because I see her and I know that I'm talking with her, even if other people are watching or not. I don't care. I'm talking with you. I can see you. I know that I'm going to have a reaction and a feedback from you. I'm not talking by myself.
Yeah, it's different when you do a monologue.
It is completely different.
Mhm.
So while I was doing my video, first I did the script of my video,
Oh, left brain.
left brain. And because I was not only happy that what I wrote, Sabina called me and I said to her, "Oh, let me read this to you." And I read my script to Sabine.
Which
And
was great.
Sabina was like, "Oh my God, I love it. It's amazing." And I'm like, "Do you think it's enough? Do you think I talk about the principles that I should talk?"
Oh, she
Do
was
you
so
think-"
second guessing everything. Total
And
left brain.
and she was like, "Sonia, stop. It's stupid. It's simple. Just say that over and over again. It's stupid, simple."
Because it is stupid simple.
And I did, but didn't work. So on the next day, I decided that, okay, stop right now. I need to do this no matter what. And I did it. And I came to the middle and I erase. And I start over again. And I come to a little more further, or even on the beginning, and I didn't like my voice, or because I start crying, or whatever it was, I delete it. So on the end of the day, I spent since like 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, 12 hours working in one project. There was a simple, stupid video.
But here's the thing: is like, and that overthinking, and it's like I told you so many times, stop overthinking it. Just do it.
And I couldn't.
Hmm.
And I couldn't. And I talk with our master coach, and she said, "Pretend that you're talking with me." And I'm like, "Not helping." "Okay, so pretend that you're talking with Sabine." And I'm like, "Well, and if I fail?" And she said, "Sonia, you will not fail." And I'm like, "I know the principle. Will not fail is a lesson." I get it.
But it's
I
interesting
still
you
get
bring up
it.
that fear, because when fear comes in and we let fear take over, fear takes over because our logic thinking our normal thinking gets shut down.
And
I mean,
my
all the
left
rational thinking, all the rationale that we have, it goes out the window.
half, and the problem is in here. I was so into my left brain where everything needs to be perfect. I cannot have a hair out of my head. I cannot have. I need to be perfect, right?
You know,
So
perfection is an illusion.
it's an illusion. What is perfect for me could not be for you. So
Exactly.
in the meantime, the other coach called me when I end the video, and she was like, "You know why you shouldn't? You were not doing?" And I'm like, "Why?" And she said, "Because you put in your head that you were not capable." And I said, "Yeah, that's why I wrote 100 times. I can do this. I wrote a
And
hundred
you can.
times. I can do this." Let me tell you, I was not using makeup. My hair was all over the place.
And it's okay.
But I did it.
You
But I
did it.
did. I
Exactly.
did it. It was like 9:20, 9:15, 9:20 when I finished the video.
Oh, I remember you called me. It's like, oh my gosh, I did it. And I was so happy for you. I'm
And I
still
was
am.
and I not even I still have the video in here saved on my computer, but I still not even went to see it because I know if I'm gonna see it, I'm gonna put it like, oh my God, really, Sonia? Could you at least brush your hair?
But here's my question. If I would be the one in the video instead of you, would you say the same thing?
No.
You know, and that's the thing is like we're our own worst critics. You know,
Yes.
and I always say it's like, would you be offended if somebody talked to you to you the way you talk to yourself? And the answer is yes, then stop it. Pretend it's somebody else. Pretend it's your child, your loved one, whoever, you know? And it's like, wow. And I started looking at it, it's like, wow, if there were somebody else and I was watching it, they did a pretty good job. You know, and then it's like, oh, I did a pretty good job.
Oh. I think the problem in here, like, and you know this because you know, as you know how much I want this, right? And of course, left brain, right brain. My left brain gonna win because I want
Well,
this.
but see what you're saying is, I mean, do you hear yourself? My left brain is going to win, so of course it's going to win.
It's gonna win because, of course, it's gonna
Change
win
what you're
because
saying.
the but that is what I was thinking, not what I'm thinking right now because
Good.
I didn't. Even if I know the principles, I know sometimes it's very even for us, coach. We are humans, and sometimes it's very difficult. You catch you catch them because
Well, and we
I
catch
know
it faster because we have a higher awareness, so we
you
can
catch them
redirect
very
it
fast. You
faster.
catch them very fast because I did it. The complicated part was changing, and I remember that I was like, "Oh, I do the video tomorrow." Do you remember?
Mhm,
Oh, I do it later on today. Oh,
mhm.
no, 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 I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Oh, no, I have the weekend to do it.
I mean, those
What?
alibis come in because when we let the fear take over, we come up with all those alibis of the reasons on and why we can't do it right now.
Because in that time, my left brain was so active that I was so afraid of criticism
Mhm.
that I didn't realize the only person that I was hurting was myself. And the only person that was criticizing myself was me.
Hmm.
I got it. And I knew it, but
Hmm.
I could not and I knew it to that immediately and I got the thought because when I talk with the with Cleona and she said, you will not fail. And my answer to her is like, I know will I not fail. I know that no one's fail is like a lesson. We learn our lesson, we get up and we
But
do it
but but
again
but
and
but
try
but
to
but
because I know the principle. The problem in that time was let my left brain activate that principle in me,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? And so I didn't see the video because I know if I'm going to see the video right now, it's going to be like, I don't care anymore. The video is done, but I know in the back of my mind, I'm going to like, oh, maybe I should do another one.
No. Just be. It's like, so I was facilitating our study group this week on Thursday morning, and right out of the gate I trip over my tongue. The word just didn't come out. It was like blah blah blah. So
And
here's what
you
I did.
and actually you did blah 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 blah.
It was. It really was. And I was like, okay, blah 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 blah. Now that that's out the way, let's move on.
But you
Stop.
got concerned
Well, of course,
because
because
you
my
you
thing was
called me
afterwards.
immediately. You
Right
called me.
afterwards, I said, hey, give me the good and give me the stuff that I can improve. Because I mean, I want to improve, right? So, and that's okay. But didn't get hung up on it. That's
No,
the thing.
no.
I wasn't worried about it. It's like my main thing was the whole time I was having fun.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was having fun because
And you
I
could
got to share, the principle that part of the book that I got to read, on accurate thinking. I got to share that with over 70 people.
not only
Oh,
you did.
the best thing is your son. Oh my God, that was like the bestest ever compliment ever. Go tell him.
So
I was like,
I enroll my son and the study and Grow Rich because it is really deep in the self development
and you wanted it.
and he wanted actually. He asked me if how he could improve himself. So I was thinking. I talked with Cleona. I had all the cells that I needed for my certification, so it was not as I'm putting this person to have one more cell, right? I had it my cells already. Um, and I enroll him, and he is actually active in every meeting since I enroll himself. But one of the things that is said to me on Monday, on Tuesday, and so on, it was like, oh my God, oh mom, it is very interesting, but they continue to use very words that actually do
Big
not
words.
understand.
Hmm.
And don't forget, kid is only 10 years old. um, and it becomes complicated. Actually, he was already ready to give up on this. You remember that he even
Hmm.
stopped reading the book.
Hmm.
So because it was being too complicated for him to assimilate the information. So on Wednesday, I told him like, "Oh, I have a good news for you. Sabina's gonna facilitate the meeting tomorrow." Of course, he was very excited because he knows Sabine, right? And he knows Sabina for the phone only. But he got very excited, and but I noticed on back of his mind, he was like, "Hmm, do I really gonna understand? Does she gonna do this the like easy way for me to understand and all that stuff?" So he was in my closet, and he get out of my closet, came to me, and he said, "Oh, mom, this was one of the best meetings ever. I understand everything."
Oh my God, that made my heart sing.
So when Sabina called me and asked me, like, give me the feedback, the good, the bad, and all that stuff, and I was like, do you want my feedback or my son feedback? And she was like, I don't care, just give me one. And I said, Miguel loved it, and this was what he said um, to me. So at night, actually, you both of you talk on the phone, and they say that I know that he said something to you, but I don't know what it was because he kind of went far away from me to talk with you.
Aw. Well, he pretty much told me the same thing, that he really loved, and he really appreciates the fact that I delivered it in a way that he could understand it. And here's the thing, and this goes out to all you coaches out there, teachers out there, anybody who's helping others, is like, don't use the big words
All
because
depends.
they're
All
not for
depends.
you.
No,
They're not
all
for you. Make it so
depends.
everybody can understand it.
I
Make it
think
simple.
I,
Make
I
it
don't
break it down.
I don't gonna agree with you. That depends of all the person that you have on the other side,
Well, it
right?
depends on your audience,
You
but
need
generally,
you need to mirror the person that you have on the other side
right, but
because if you
generally
have
keep it on a level that people can understand it.
yes, Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's been like one of my gifts. I had many people come to me. It's like, oh my gosh, you have such a way of explaining things to in like simple terms that I can
Yes.
understand.
And
You know,
another thing is if someone is coaching you, because me and Sabina, we are always coaching each other every day. And sometimes Sabina use some words that I'm like, whatever. But don't be afraid to ask
right?
what do you mean with that. Actually, I don't say that to her, and I say, if I knew what
She
that
goes like,
means.
huh?
No, I say, if I only knew what that means. And now she is more aware that my English is perfect. My
That's
English
right.
is perfect,
Fabulous, darling.
fabulous, but I don't have the vast vocabulary that she does. So sometimes when she uses a little more complicated words, she say, "Do you know what that means?" Right? Oh, an expression that maybe I never heard in my life. I'm like, um, she's like, "Do you know what that means?" Right? And sometimes I'm like, "Yeah." Other times I'm like, "No idea what you said."
Not a flicker.
That's like,
But that's okay. It's like, pay attention to the people you talk to because their facial expressions, or even when you're on the phone, it's like I can usually tell on when I'm on the phone with Sonia or with anybody whether they understand what I'm saying or not.
actually,
You
we
know?
even can say the energy of the person even by the voice.
Right. And it's like pick up on those cues. You will find out people will tell you so much more outside of what they're saying.
Yes, just learn not to read between the lines.
Right. But back to don't worry about the who's, the hows, the what's and whens and the whys.
We never can stick with the this.
No, no, we try. But it's okay because I like our flow, you know. And it's like
We
that.
go jumping from one principle to the other and go back to the other, and
Right, because I mean they're all important and they all work together
they
anyway.
are all connected.
But
You
I mean the
cannot have
bottom
one
line
without
really
the other
is
one.
right. But the bottom line really is, um, whatever it is you want, don't get caught up in the details. That's not your concern. Because when you worry about the details, and it's like especially y'all left brainers out there, and I understand it because I've been there. Okay, it's like I want this, and in order for this to happen, A, B, C, da da da. The steps that in your mind have to happen. Well, when you do that, you limit the powers that are and what they can actually do for you.
And not only that, left brain goes a little more further than that. Or because I'm a Capricorn, I go a little further than that, but I still
There's
don't
that
figure it
too.
out. Because if you have like, okay, I want this, I need to do A, B, C, and D. But from A, I have A1, just in case the A doesn't work. I have the
There's
A1.
A B, A B, A C, and then there's A1, A2, and it just keeps on. I'm
I
like,
always
don't do
have
that.
backup plans just in case that
Right.
doesn't work.
Don't,
Uh,
but when you put out your big dreams, your big goals, don't get hung up on the details.
like,
Just follow, and here's what's really cool. Whatever your big dream is, whatever you need, as long as you keep moving in that general direction, whatever you need is given to you at the right time. It
and
may
I'm gonna
not come
tell
as
you,
you expected. It doesn't usually come wrapped with a bow. It doesn't, sometimes it does, most of the time it doesn't, right? And sometimes it's so tiny that we tend to overlook it because we're looking for the big thing, right? But be open because you want to get so many opportunities put in your way to help you further and get you more and better than what you actually asked for. The people that get put in your way, and sometimes even the blocks you encounter are there to help you.
so like, just for you to have the example, the how, the when, and so on.
All
It's
those
gonna
other things.
all the other things gonna happen. So when I decide that I want to be a Napoleon Hill Institute coach, Napoleon Hill Institute coach was getting ready to give birth, right? Let's put it this way. In the meantime, I and January 11 at 1 o'clock, I had my call to enroll with Napoleon Hill Institute to become a coach. The day before, I was, oh my God, so nervous. It looks like I was a little child. Actually, no, I was an adult without knowing. No, I was a chicken without a head. Let's put it
You were
like this.
scared.
I was so scared
Mhm.
because first, I'm doing this for myself, right? For the first time in many, many years, I'm doing something for myself, not for my husband, not for my kids, not for my father, not for my mom, not for my in laws, not for my friends, not for my family, but for me. Second of all, the amount of the money involved in this. I still didn't know how much it would be, but because of the other organizations, you kind of think like, oh
You
my
kind
God,
of have a
this
rough idea.
you have a rough idea and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is going to be an arm and a leg and my heart and my brain, and I'm going to need to start selling orgs of my own body to start paying for this.
You have a kidney.
Here, take my kidney, I don't need it. Take my
I
my
got two.
thyroid, whatever, take one eye. um
It's not that much, guys. Don't be scared.
no, it's not compared with other organizations.
Right,
This
it's really not.
is like actually is nothing.
Right.
And for all, they give it to you for you to learn, right? And we need to know about that. Like they actually prepare you for what you need to do. So
Right.
in the meantime, I was in that day, I'm like, where I'm gonna find the money, how I'm gonna do this. Oh my God. And I remember that I spent all day in fear. I knew that I need to make the decision, but I was in fear because, oh my God, where I'm gonna find the money for this, right? Um, and until I decide, like, okay, worst case scenario, I'm gonna divide this in so many credit cards that I have. I'm gonna be in debt until I die, but I'm gonna do it. And I let it go. And
Mhm.
that night, and funny again, 11 o'clock. The 11 is with me since my certification. At that day and that night, at 11 o'clock, I receive money in my hands, cash in my hands, and say, thank you for all you do for me.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! I
Mhm.
was all day
Because
thinking,
here's the thing, you let it go, you said, "Whatever."
yeah. So I was all day
Weren't worried
thinking how
anymore.
I'm going to do it, when I'm going to do it. I need to figure it out this. But just when I let it go,
So
this
two things happened. You let
feeling,
it go and you knew that this is what you want. You had the definite that burning
that
desire, this is what I want. Come hell or high waters, somehow I will figure it out. And here's the thing, guys. If you want something bad enough, you will find a way.
and
If
and
you
and the
don't, you will
fun,
find an excuse.
yes,
It's simple as that.
and the fun part in that day, I was in a restaurant while I received the call. And I remember the person that called me tried to tell me the story of her life. In my mind, my paradigm, because I studied this, but I was not so deep in these principles like I am now. So I knew that my paradigm was there thinking, Sonia, what the hell are you doing? You don't have the money for this. Stop right now. So I remember to talk with the other person and say, I would love to hear your story and another time. Can you take just my credit card right now before I change my mind?
Take my money. But sometimes that's just what we need to do
And
because
it
we know
was, and it
within
was.
this is it. This is it. And that's like, you know what? I'll figure it out. And then
I will,
you release it. That's the key. You release the who's, the hows, the what's, the whens. Let it go.
and
And
after,
magic will happen.
exactly. And after, I used to remember because I'm working for my certification. Sabine is done, but I'm still working on mine. And I need to have some kind of things done to have my certification. I spent like a week thinking how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do this, how
Just
I'm going to
do
do
it. Just do
it.
it.
Just do it. And I
Mhm,
start like doing. I
mhm.
grab my phone, I did what I need to do, and I end up doing.
There you
In
go.
1 week, I had it what I need for my certification on my
Perfect.
end.
Yep. And that's how it goes,
And
guys.
I
Just
became,
just
and
don't
I became
worry.
the video.
Right. And Don't worry about the who's, the hows, the what's, and when's. Know what you want in your heart. Know what you want and just may take action towards that direction and trust that you already have it. It's just not in your awareness yet. It's already done, right? Don't worry about the who's, the hows, the what's, and when's. Don't worry about all those details.
No.
They come to you as you need them. When you need them, you get exactly what you need to move you forward. And sometimes it doesn't look like it's helping you, but it is.
Sometimes it looks like you are one step back, forward,
Right.
two step backs,
But that's
but
just for you to
at
take
the
image,
end,
or it's like, oh, wait a minute.
but on the end of the day, when you start reflecting about that step
Mhm.
forward and that two steps back, you're gonna realize that you needed that two step backs to realize that you were something there that was missing to become the reality exactly the way you want or better.
Mhm. So yeah, when
Because
you say I don't know, that's okay. You don't need to know.
okay, you don't
That's
need to
okay.
know.
But hey guys, that's been an hour already.
Yeah, times
I
fly with
know
us.
it's fine when you're having fun. It's like, and we can talk this stuff like 24/7 because it's so good.
We do actually on the
We
phone.
actually we do, right? And but here's the thing, because we know it works and it works for everybody exactly the same way. It's just how you're using the laws and that information that's going to make the difference. Whether you get what you want, well, you always get what you want, but whether it's the positive that you get or it's the negative. So, hey, if you guys want help with that, please reach out to us. You can reach Sonia at mattersofperspective.com, or you can reach out to me at info@mattersofperspective.com, and just reach out. We'd be happy to help you. I mean, we have a coaching program through Napoleon Hill Institute. If you think about becoming a coach,
We
connect
have
with
the
us.
mentorship if you
We have
just
the
need
mentorship
to be
program
coach.
to help you. We have the coaching business program. We have the daily study. If you's like, hey, I don't know, well, let me check it out. Join our daily study
But
every single day. It's only $99 a month.
let me tell you something about the business coach. Even if you don't want to become a business coach, but you want to be a business owner,
There you go.
that is
And
the
when we
route
say
to go.
business coach, it doesn't mean that you have to become a business coach. The business of coaching through Napoleon Hill.
Yes, become
Right.
coaching from Napoleon Hill. You don't
Right.
even if you need that certification, but you have a company and you need to learn a little more about business.
Oh my God, the
You know,
training.
the training that they give you for business,
Oh my
even if
gosh.
you don't want to, like, you want to have the certification, but you don't want to become a coach, just the training that they give you to become
Mhm.
a
It's
business
worth way
owner.
more than what than the investment that they're charging. But anyway, we gotta go.
Yes.
We'll be back
Love
next week.
you. Yes.
Y'all have a fabulous one. Love you
Yes. I
guys.
love you
And
too.
ta-da! We'll see you
Ta-da.
next week. Bye.
Bye.